Yep. Guess I'ma be. Guess I'ma do ladies' night by myself. So that means whatever I say, I'm gonna have no rebuttals, no interruptions, nothing from the female. So whatever I say is accurate, right? Is that what we saying, ladies? Cause ain't nobody show up tonight. All right. Cool. What's up, everybody? It's the 31st. So it's that time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. First of all, before I introduce my guest who got something he want to say real quick. It's 7:31. It's real time. It's ladies' night on Friday. We got a lot of interesting topics, but before we get into those topics, I got my man JD, who, like a lot of people, was pissed off about the top NFL 100 list. And I know it's a troll job, whatever, whatever, but you got to at least be smart and intelligent with your troll. Like NFL just, why did they even air that? That's like garbage. So JD wants to come on and say a couple things. JD,
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing?
what's up, homie?
Not much, man. Sorry, I just took a little nap and from a little out of it.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
naps
Uh,
are good. Naps are good, man.
oh yeah, man. It's Friday. Oh
So
man.
you reached out to me, man, and you said you had some things to say about the NFL 100 list.
Yeah, man.
So
That was
the floor is yours.
yeah. So I'm just looking at this top 100 list and like I'm looking at it and like I'm like it's like a troll job, but like when you troll like on lists, it's like a top 10 list.
Hmm.
But like man, you're trying to rank the 100 best players in the NFL. And then you're trying to say, oh well, this is a definitive list because we ask players, coaches, front office people. So it's like, oh yeah, these people are educated. Then you see like Todd Gurley at like 58, and you're like, really?
Who didn't he switch teams?
Prince, he got cut by the Rams. And he goes to the Falcons and he's on like a 1 year like prove it style deal.
Uh,
And you're like, I'm like, man, like I don't know, like if we play this season, big if, um, like is he like if let's use fantasy football as an example, people could be running out drafting Todd Gurley. I mean, if he's a guy that's getting
mhm.
barely drafted in fantasy football, just using I know that's not real football, I totally understand that. Then he's not a like why would he rank so high?
Mhm.
You know, and I also look
Um.
at some other things too, like Dak Prescott was like 40. What was he? 47, 46, and
Mhm.
like all due respect, like the Cowboys didn't even want to pay him. Like, and he's supposed to be a top 50 player in the league. You know, he's ranked higher than the guys that he like the Cowboys would rather pay than pay him.
What
You know,
I asked around, I asked people that's in the know about this list, and what they told me is number one, it's a popularity contest. Number two, they I think Dan Olarski also said this. He said they throw a piece of paper in front of you after a hard game, and they're like, "Hey, fill out this sheet, rank it or whatever, blah blah, and give it back to me." And they said some guys don't take it seriously, some guys do, and then they hand it off to the media person, and then they do whatever with the list. So whatever names they submit to NFL Network or whatever, that may not be necessarily what the player said or what their intent was. So that list, man, it was just before when it first started, it was actually really good because it was thought provoking and it got people talking because there was a few controversial picks, but for the most part, it was pretty good. But this year, they just bombed it. They was just like, you know what? Okay, let's go trash TV and let's just make people think, talk. And people was talking about that list the whole day. They was pissed.
well here's
So,
something. Well, here's some food for thought, just to put things into perspective. To revisit Todd Gurley for a second, there was not. I think the highest ranked Eagle was like in the 70s. right? If the Eagles signed Todd Gurley to back up Miles Sanders, he would be considered the best player on their team according to that list. Think about that for
Yeah.
a second.
Yes.
How idiotic that
Again,
is.
that list is so subjective, and I learned this from my man Reg. You gotta. They did their job because I was pissed. You're perplexed. Other people are perplexed. So they did their job. That's their job in entertainment, is to get people talking, and that's what they did. But if you was to ask real football people, and I think across Twitter when real football people was talking, they was like, "Yeah, this list is bullshit."
Yeah,
So
I have a
there you
theory
go.
behind why they made it so controversial or stupid or whatever adjective you want to use to describe it. I think they've tried to make it as controversial as it is to try and take attention off the fact that the season is in jeopardy. So,
Yes, 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 very much so.
if people are like screaming about where like Ryan Tannehill is on a list when he was, his job is he's the guy that hands the ball off to Derrick Henry. That's pretty much what he does. Makes a couple nice throws here and there, but like, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, people weren't exactly going to be beating down Ryan Tannehill's door this offseason to bring him in to be their franchise quarterback. If anything, they'd all be calling up Derrick Henry, right? Just saying.
Right.
And people are like, we're going to get all the social media. We're going to piss off social media. So instead of people treading hashtags cancel the season, it's going to be cancel top 100 NFL lists because it's so like, in the grand scheme of things, it's not important. But like, I think like you're looking at what's going on with not just trying to take too many topics. I know you got the rest of your show, but like you're seeing what's going on with baseball. The commissioner of baseball is now threatening to cancel the season if the players don't get in line.
Yeah.
You don't think the NFL is looking at what's going on with baseball and they're not shitting them? I'm sorry, can I curse?
Yes. Can you?
Curse? You don't think the NFL office right now shitting themselves just looking at baseball thinking, what the fuck do we need to do to have a season if we can't do a bubble like the NBA and hockey?
It takes one star to catch it, and it's gonna be hell. Can you imagine Brady catching a corona?
I was just gonna say,
guys,
dude. And you know
hey,
what?
Reg, what's up?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I got on that list. That listing,
Go
I
ahead.
heard a couple things. One, I heard they did the list early in the season, so that's possibly why Wentz was left off the list because they did that list started being done. People started voting on that stupid ass list, and that was well before Winston were playing good. So that's partly a factor. And plus, like I said, it's hot take. I mean, you look at why was Larry Fitzgerald 69th or 68th on the fucking list? Larry Fitzgerald is not good anymore. I mean, he's a fucking tight end now. He's over Keenan Allen. When I saw that, I'm like, Keenan Allen was up here arguing with Tyreek Hill and them, and it's like, dog, Larry Fitzgerald is 68th. It's name recognition. There's no reason to get mad about something arbitrary like a stupid ass list on the NFL Network where they got guys like Maurice Jones-Drew giving out fucking football takes like he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
Who, that fat Madden running back?
He was a good running back. Back.
Yeah, but now he's a Madden player. He's a Madden player.
Right.
But
his opinion sucks. Like it's personal things. These dudes get off personal agendas. And like I said, the Eagles fans always react. We always react, so it helps them.
But Ray, can you admit this though? Can you admit this when you got somebody like Jones-Drew who has a platform where he has a job to give his unbiased analysis, is actually giving biased analysis based off Eagles fans trolling him?
Well, like, I mean, it's all about. We listen to Kendrick Perkins on TV every fucking day, giving out bullshit LeBron opinions because LeBron is buttering his bread for him. LeBron is giving him he's helping him get a play. That the way the NFL the media don't work like that no more. Skip Bayless is on TV giving out bullshit biased opinions for attention. These things draw attention now. Stephen A. Smith. We all enjoy him shitting on the Cowboys, but it's all biased opinion because it draws entertainment.
He knows. You're right. Red, listen. You're right, JD. John, you hear me?
I'm here. Sorry, I was just listening to that. Yeah, like I could see also too with like you brought you brought up Larry Fitzgerald, right?
Right.
So like if I was a player, I played the Cardinals and I had to cover Larry Fitzgerald all game, and let's say he burned me for like 100 yards and like 2 touchdowns, and he's like 40 years old. I'm gonna
What
rank
is it,
him
2003?
I mean, he
like,
doesn't do that anymore, though.
I know, but let's just say he has like one of those sporadic good games, you know. So,
Okay.
You know, and he burns me, and someone's like, "Man, how'd you let that old man beat you?" I'm gonna, if I'm doing that list, I'm like, "Well, he's one of the best players in the league. It's it's not my fault, you know."
A bunch of excuses, which basically is going by reputation. Like Drew Brees, let's be real. Was Drew Brees even a fucking? I mean, I don't even think Drew Brees should have been on that list as high as he was. Drew Brees wasn't good like that last year. He was hurt a good percentage of the year, and they won like what 7 games without him or some shit.
Yeah, with Teddy Bridgewater.
Bridgewater, they kept ticking. I mean, these things factor in. I mean, the same thing. I mean, no offense, people gonna cuss me out. I mean, when I look at Wentz, he's great, but the team. I mean, part of it is that the team was able to keep winning without him because they had a great team. So Wentz, I mean, that's part of it. I mean, shit, it is what it is. It's subjective. It's a fucking list of hot takes of dudes picking their friends and having arbitrary reasons for why they picked the guy, and they don't have there's no real reason for it. It's just that's the way it is, you know.
Yeah,
no point.
We can all agree that list was bullshit. I got to get Shantae in here because it's time for ladies' night. JD, I appreciate you, man. Anytime you want to bring something up, man, just hit me up again. Just let me know, man. It's like a delay. John, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm right here.
Oh yeah, I was saying anytime you want to bring something else up, just let me know. I appreciate it.
Cool, man. I'll DM you. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
All right, yeah, no problem.
No,
all right, Jay.
Hey, y'all, what y'all was talking about was good shit. I mean, I heard y'all talking about it. I'm like, hey, man, and you brought me up.
All right, Jay.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
What are you talking about? Close the drawer.
Listen.
All I heard was close the drawer. Like what?
Because this kid is tapped dancing on my last nerve. Like it's not been a good week for me.
He on one today?
Yeah.
Let's all send a shout out and prayers to her family because she's going through a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been talking to her. Yeah.
I think everybody send a prayer for her family and all that shit. He might not ask for it, but I'm going to tell everybody to do it for him.
Yeah. You know, one thing about her, she'll never pander for sympathy, but you always want to keep good people in your prayers. So I was hoping, that's why I didn't even ask you, like to join, because I wanted you to, handle your business. I ain't want to be an insistent prick. Like, yeah, I know all this is going on, but hey, are you going to come on? So I wanted to just make sure you had the link, and if you was going to come on, you was going to come on. And I knew the situation, so if you didn't come on, I would know, what it was. So, but I appreciate you coming on with me, because I was about to go ham on these ladies. It wasn't nobody gonna rebut. Wasn't nobody gonna have a rebuttal, yo.
No, I had to support my brother. No matter what.
I appreciate that, because I was because I've been seeing some things up here on Twitter, man. It's been bothering me. Like, I don't know if y'all seen the recent viral videos. It's been recently like mothers and mother-in-laws like arguing.
Oh yeah, I seen that
with their son or daughter's boyfriends, husbands, whatever the case may be. And that made me bring up the question, when is it appropriate for you as a man, woman, whatever, to check your mom, somebody else's mom, when they're kind of getting out of pocket? Because 2 of the guys, they didn't say anything. They was just like whatever. And
I thought that shit was fake.
Yeah. I mean, well, fake or not, you still got the comments, people who like they're giving their true comments. They're like, I would have did this. Well, he did right, not going at his mom. Like, my wife would have gotten the back seat. My mom rides up front, like shit like that. So
Yeah, yeah.
I bring to you, Shante, like, uh, when is it okay? Like, when would you expect for your man to be like, hey, man, your mom out of pocket?
Oh, this is such a great question because when me and Kim was together, full disclosure, his mom to this day, me and her don't like each other. But the main reason why she never liked me in the first place is because there's an age gap between me and Ken. Also, she thought I was white, so that's a whole other topic for a whole nother day. But when I decided to tell her that I was pregnant with Levi, she started telling people that I trapped her son. So immediately my reaction was I wanted to punch her in the face, but I was like, I'm pregnant. I can't get my blood pressure up. I can't put this child in jeopardy because this ugly bitch is going to be saying stuff about things that she just talking out of pocket. And then I said, and then while we're on the subject, you don't even know who your son's fathers are. Fathers, not fathers. Like you a whole old school thought, but you gonna talk about I trapped your piece of shit son. Okay. Well, whatever. So I told him multiple times when I was pregnant. I said, if you do not check your mother, I said, when I pop this child out, I said, I will check her for you. And sure enough, there was a couple instances after Levi was born, I got in that ass and I told her and I said, listen, you will not talk to me any type of way. And I said, and when you have my child, I said, if anything happens, I will burn the block down. Don't fucking play with me. I'm not the one. I'm really not the one. So yeah, like there needs to be a line where this is the problem. And women don't want to admit this, but the thing that's more treacherous than a deadbeat dad is a toxic mother. And she's the epitome of when you mess around with ain't shit men and then you dump that poison into your sons because you prime example
Jealous.
Ken has no type of self-sufficient skills. He had to learn that later on in life, but you never prepared him for the world. Like, and then as soon as she found out like me and him was in a relationship, she tried to dump all that shit like that was my responsibility. So like she called herself something, yeah, that's your boyfriend. I said no, but he came out of your vagina, so that is your son. You raised him or lack thereof. Like you were so busy trying to jump from man to man and house to house and getting evicted from here and moving there and all this shit. You have not prepared neither one of your sons of what a healthy relationship looks like. All the men that you dated wasn't shit. And so therefore your sons never saw a healthy relationship. So really get the fuck out of my face about whatever I decide to do in my relationship with your son, because guess what? I leveled him up. I taught him a lot of shit as far as how to be an adult that you didn't fucking do. So yeah.
That
I like
that's interesting to me because in my opinion, you get it the most. Like you get the most problematic and toxic mothers when they have bad luck with men. So they see their son with a good woman, or they see their daughter with a good man, and it's like, well, your father did this. That's a sign. This is no. Stop trying to live your relationships through mine. Like, no, he's like, let me figure it out. I get it. You want to give advice? Fine, that's good. Advice taken, thank you. But when it's constantly like, watch out for him, girl. Watch out for him. Watch out for him. It's like, it's been 25 years and we're good. Like, when are you going to stop?
It's like you for that down. They rooting for that downfall.
Right.
They rooting for that. They're rooting for miserableness.
Right. And I don't know, man. Like when I just see stuff like that online, especially at a wedding or like when you just blatantly disrespect them, even if it's fake, the fact is still black people cutting up and putting that energy out there. So it's like all black women got attitudes. All black women don't like other black women. Black girls don't like moms. Like black men are soft. Black men are beta. Like they don't have, it ain't no strong black men in the community. Blah 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 blah. That's
Right.
that stuff perpetuates those stereotypes that we're trying to get rid of, but we get pissed off when somebody bring them up, but we want to film it and do it all for 30 to 35 likes or however it takes you to go viral. So
Right.
we just gotta, whether it's real, and if it is real, that's pathetic. If it's fake, y'all gotta be careful how y'all. I mean, why not say it's a skit? Why not say it's a skit? A lot of people do scenario skits,
Right.
and then be like, "What would you do?" They don't try to go through the whole make it real and blah blah blah. So I don't know, man.
In that video right there, the easiest way, let's say that was real, right? The video with the car thing. The easiest way for that man to get to clean that situation up is he get his punk ass in the back seat and he let her drive, let the wife or the girlfriend drive, and the situation is over with. If he don't want to like address it, like say, "Mom, you got to chill the fuck out and get in the back seat," or whatever, get your punk ass in the back seat and let her drive the car, and then she sit in the front seat with the mom, and y'all just move on with the situation until later on. For them,
but
how about this though?
Scenario,
why?
Go ahead, Shante. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I agree to a certain point with what Reg is saying, but also like the moms, you should already know where your place is as far as the family dynamic. If your son is married, his wife is priority now. You are still important, but you are no longer the woman in his life. The woman in his life is who he made a vow in front of God and is going to love through better or for worse, through sick, through poor, all that, how the vows go. But that's what I'm saying. It's almost like, I mean, I get the whole respect thing, but my thing is like, let's say like Levi, he has a wife or a girlfriend, whatever. I'm gonna get in the back seat. I don't even understand like the nitpicking about the importance of sitting up front anyway. Just get in the car. Can we just get in the car so we can go? That's it.
Right.
I don't got time for the argument. Just get in the car. If you want to go, go. If you're not, just stay your ass home. And then I'm leaving regardless. So you got 5 minutes. Figure it out. Either way, the car is moving. You can chase it down the block while I'm driving, or you can stay your ass home.
Like I agree with you on that. Like the mom should have just got in the back seat and knew the respect. But my whole thing is, if you want to play peacemaker, the easiest way to play peacemaker in that situation, if you don't want to ruffle feathers on either side, just get your back seat.
Listen to me, and Shantae will say this: as a woman, if your man don't man up and dominate that situation, if you see your man get in the back instead of confronting it, how you gonna look at him?
He looked bad. He looked bad either way. He looked bad now.
You're gonna be like,
I agree
where
with
are you
that.
going? Why are you getting in the back seat? No, you need to handle this. This is your car. I'm your woman. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's a whole nother can of worms. Sometimes being down the middle is not the best thing to be.
The way I'm saying the way he played it though, he fucked up. He fucked up even worse by playing
no
it the way. So if he was going to play it that way, the least he could have did was either got in the fucking backseat and shut the shit the fuck.
I see what you're saying now. I see where you're coming from now.
Instead of playing, I ain't got nothing to do with it at all. You know what I mean? Just let them argue and shit. Get your ass in the backseat and play and calm the shit down.
Or even if he would have bought it up like you know what? I just get in the backseat. One of y'all drive. And then I bet you both of them would have been like, I don't want to drive.
Right.
She can have the front seat. I don't give a shit. Like, whatever you want to say.
Fake like you ready to get in the back seat or something. Yeah. You got to do something better than just stand there and watch your mom and your wife.
Let them argue back and forth.
And get recorded on video doing that shit. You know what I mean? If that was real.
All right. And so, I want to transition to my second topic is this whole, and this is coming to Shantae first, of course, because what is this whole obsession with women and their relationship and their man's relationship with their mother? It sometimes it's like, I feel like y'all are like jockeying for the number one spot, even when it's no debate. Like you said, when you make that vow under God or whatever, there is no debate.
Right.
Like there's nothing to talk about. But you have some women who legit be like, I don't understand why you gotta go take groceries over there. I don't understand why you gotta do this. I don't understand why you gotta do that. And I'm like,
see, those types of women, I don't understand. Like they're like the dynamic of especially like a marriage, is a different dynamic than just being in a relationship. But also, even if it's just a standard relationship, the mom should already know where she's at in the ranks of, you know, in the family. But I'm never going to be that type. Like, even though like I couldn't stand Karen, and yes, her name is Karen, believe it or not, her name is Karen, and she acts like a whole Karen too, believe it or not. So
That's funny. That's funny.
so there's times that, like, even though I can't stand her and I still don't like her, I'm not petty to the point where like when me and Kim was still in a relationship, like I would tell him like, oh, you going over there, what you going over there for, whatever. Like, at the end of the day, that's still his mom. Yeah, me and her don't gel and we don't vibe, and I'm never gonna like her. But at the same time, like, I just don't understand women like that. It's almost like if you feel threatened by the woman that gave birth to the man that you're in a relationship with, there's something deep-seated wrong in your psyche that you feel threatened by, you know, this other woman that's really not the other woman. That's the mother that gave birth to this man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not wired like that. But yeah, I mean, it's true. I don't know what the obsession is, but you see it on the timeline all the time. You see it on social media, even with celebrities, and like how they deal with their in-laws, and like this one don't get along with her mother-in-law, or like on reality shows, like that's the epitome of toxic. Like, what was it? What's his name's mother?
Mother of Love.
Oh, you talking
Jim
about
Let's
Jim
go.
Jones. Jim
no,
Jones's
Yeah.
mom. She
the
was one of
funniest
them.
one. The funniest one was my man and his mother-in-law. What's the boy? Fuck. Rashida's mom and
Oh
Kurt.
yeah, her mom and Kurt. Yeah,
Boys,
yeah, that
Little
was
Scrappy.
another one.
Little Scrap.
Motorcycle and fuck this
Oh
motorcycle.
yeah, little Scrap. Yeah, Scraps. Oh Lord, his
Yeah,
mother.
yeah.
She
Yeah,
another one.
it's so weird, but you know what? Also, I see a lot of, and this I'm speaking to the men here. When you have men that grow up in a household with just a mother and an absent of a man,
Hmm.
sometimes I think men like that's your mom or whatever. But if you got a wife or you got a woman that you're really serious about, her birthday post should be deep and detailed. Just as much as you see it. Like, I want to send a shout out to the woman that make my toes curl. Happy birthday! But for mom, it's like
Right.
a whole book of like what she's done and
It's
how
a whole
she's
timeline.
made you a better man. And like, I'm
Back in
like,
1992, you bought me that bike.
when you stood outside for those Jordans, I'll never forget that, yo. Like, this one, but your wife had 4 of your kids, almost lost her life having one. She holding it down. Why didn't she get a whole timeline? Like,
Right.
and I think that's where it's an issue. And that's where you get the whole mama's boy and the
Right.
whole, like, you see it like in the NFL. One thing that I don't like, or sports in general,
Right.
it be legit. It be a two-parent household, but what do? Talk
Always
about
like
the mom.
Right.
Always go to the mom. And I'm like, no,
Right.
no, no, no. It's some strong. But when it came to like, and I'm gonna go back into the black and white thing. But when it came to the Bosas, both parents are pushed out front. The Mannings,
I was
both
about to
parents
say,
are
when it
pushed
comes to
out
the
front.
black families, they always focus on the mom and leave the dad out for whatever. And he'd be sitting right there, and I'm like, so we just gonna skip over dad sitting there proud too?
you
Yeah.
know what?
And
What's
during the
funny?
draft, did we get Jim Bob's mom is a recovering meth addict? No. But when the black athletes came up, it was like such is Hakeem's mom is a recovering crackhead. Like,
Right.
why is that in my bio? Like, what the
I mean, because it sensationalizes what
Press? I would
people
love for you to get in here and explain that. Okay, go ahead, Rick.
because it sensationalizes what people think about black people. They think they have come from broken homes and fucked up.
Exactly, Reg. They think we all
We all
on welfare. We all don't have a
don't
dad.
have a dad. Shit, I
Right.
am
We
what I
all
am.
from the hood. Yeah.
I am what I am from a fucking black, a biracial black man. My father went to work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Speak on it, Rick. Speak
Still
on it.
showed up to the school when I showed my
Hold
ass
on,
in high
Press. I
school
got you.
and slapped the shit out of me in school. and then went back to work.
Exactly, Dave. They
Then went
they
back to
damn
work.
sure did. They damn sure did, Dave. ESPN had that on ready to go. Every time somebody name got called, it was like, oh, he come from his single parent.
No,
His mom
I
raised
tell
him.
did I tell you how it would be? It would be like broke the AFC record, uh, 80 touchdowns in one game.
Oh, and
Mom used to rob houses and was a prostitute. Like,
Oh.
Right. He or he got in some trouble while he was in college, but that's past him now. Who cares? Who cares? Who didn't get in trouble in college? Stop. Just
because
stop.
it perpetuates, like we said, it perpetuates what they think about black families and what they think about how they grow up, and it
you
lives
know
to
what?
the side story that makes them more interesting.
To who though, Reg? Say it.
To white
Go
people.
ahead and say
To
it.
white
There
people.
you go. Thank
White
White
you.
people.
people. They
Right.
want to hear
Thank you.
the side stories make them. Oh, I can root for him. I can root for him. He came from a fucking hard background. His life was hard.
And
I don't
those be the
understand that,
same
but I
ones.
can root for that.
And
You know
those
what I
be the
mean?
same ones that be quick to tell. Well, be grateful you making money to play a game. Shut
Right.
up and dribble.
Can I
Go
piggyback
ahead.
off of that when you saying how we treat these players? This is what burned me up before I went on a mini hiatus from Twitter. But when Marquise Goodwin had to do a whole live
Oh.
on YouTube to explain why he opted out of playing this season because of the circumstances that it was difficult for them to have a child, and now that they had a successful pregnancy and have a daughter, you don't think he's going to take an account of keeping her safe? And the comments was atrocious, and you know what the majority was from, and that was pissed. I was like, and that's why I got on somebody's page on IG and just like ran. I said, there's a lot of small dick energy going on in the Eagles fan base right now, and I don't like it. Like
Eagles.
it's almost making me be
There's a
embarrassed.
difference between Eagles and Eagles fans. Those are
Right.
Eagles fans.
Right. And it makes me
Go ahead.
embarrassed to be riding for this
Well,
team when you're giving this man a hard time and having him explain, are y'all serious right now? So
But
y'all it goes back to shut up and play. Like if this was a white guy, oh, you're really brave for that, for making that decision. We stand behind you. But then you get all these trash ass fans talking about, oh, but you still getting paid. There's a lot of people out of work right now. Okay, well none of us, it's out of our control about what happened this year. Like you can't be mad at these players as far as them making a decision of not wanting to play. Like I don't understand that, and he made the right decision. Like that burned me up.
Well, it
100 times out of 100 times.
It just comes down to general how fans are in sport. All sports fans, all they give a fuck about. A lot of sports fans just give a fuck about seeing their sports and seeing their team win and seeing whatever the fuck happened.
Well, they got a pathetic ass life.
They don't give a fuck. I mean, let's be real. I see more people upset that they can't get baseball the way they want to get baseball, or basketball the way they want to get basketball, or football the way they want to get football, than they are that 152,000 people fucking died from the coronavirus. I mean, they don't care. It's all about entertainment for them.
Chris.
What's good?
The distraction.
What's good, man?
Chilling, man. Can't complain.
Talk to me about that whole dynamic. What we talked about when I sent you the link.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you can go back to the Reagan days where you find out that there was a war with black families, black men in general. Go back to the welfare system. You weren't allowed to, you couldn't receive welfare unless there was only a woman in the house. So what it did was it separated the black man from his family. So that's number one.
I'm glad you brought that up. You had to make the man disappear. Remember to get wick. Shit like that.
Oh,
Right.
see, I never knew that.
Yeah.
The dad can't be in the picture. It got to be a one-person household.
Had to be. So even if you were a black man who was present in the home, you couldn't be there when that social worker showed up. No sign of you at all. If not, you didn't qualify for benefits. Not only that, but then the incarceration rate is with black men is so much higher for these trumped up charges, like somebody who is white who sold some cocaine might get a slap on the wrist, but you're a black dude, for some crack, you're getting life. It just, so it's been a steady war about making sure that black families aren't united. So, and that trickles down into, especially in those southern states, like, there isn't a lot of black fathers in the home because of the incarceration rate, because of not being able to provide for their family. So when they have these shows, it really is just the mom. And not only that, but then you toss in that there is a dynamic when a relationship doesn't work out. It's always, sadly, the men is the one who's leaving out rather than staying in and trying to, reconcile or doing what's best for the child. And like I teach a father's group, you know that. And one of our strongest statements is that when the elephants fight, the grass gets trampled on. So when two parents can't co-parent together, it's not you getting back at the woman or the woman getting back at you, it's the child that gets trampled on. And sometimes they don't see that in the midst of them trying to get revenge or trying to prove who's right or who's wrong. And that's just the way it is, and there's some people, some dads out there who just aren't involved, or they just succumb to, the pressures of being black in America, and aren't there. And they don't know how to deal with that or channel that. I see it all the time. I deal with these guys all the time. And it's unfortunate because when you sit down and talk to them, you can hear their heart. You can see that they want to be there, but they just don't know how. And so me as an African-American man speaking to some of these guys I speak to are as young as 16 years old and their father, and they have no guidance whatsoever. And they're old. Some of them are as old as 60 years old. And I have both sides of the spectrum as a mentor and as a help or a guide, a beacon to every type of man involved in the system. And the system is really jacked up within itself.
And Prez was right. I remember my cousin, his baby mom, she had a kid before she got with my cousin. She went to go take her other baby dad to court to get child support and get on welfare. They took my cousin to court too for child support. He was taking care of his kid, and they started taking money from him for no reason. And he was taking care of his kid. They do that shit all the time. They do dirty shit, man.
Yeah, but Shantae, Prez, that was a very good point because I forgot all about that aspect of it. To get WIC or to get anything, the first thing they would ask is the father in the home? You would have to check no. He would have to be gone. Even though he provides and he does whatever, sometimes that wasn't enough, so they had to get extra help, and he had to disappear. Now imagine your pride as a man who's working hard, and you're like, I'm working hard, but I'm still below the poverty line. Can we get some help? And they like, only if you're not here. And you're like,
right. So and they put that burden on you to provide. And it's so funny because in the field that I'm in, I talk with some social workers. I talk to some coaches and stuff like that. And there are applications for, let's say, if you need emergency housing or something like that. The application was strictly about the woman, mother's name on the application, mother's name, child's name, hospital you're born. Never mention the father. So it took for us to really start analyzing: are we really practicing, helping people, or are we really just about our own personal agenda? It even like we have a women's shelter in Philadelphia, in West Philly, and the policy was no men was allowed. So that means that even if the woman was in the shelter, the dad couldn't come down and spend time with his son. If the mom said no, it was just a wrap. Couldn't do nothing about it. His rights didn't even matter.
You know what's weird? Like, I'm thinking, like, when you have these men that are doing what they have to do, and you have the women that are also doing what they have to do, but you have some women out there that's petty, and you have some men that are petty. But like you said, the only person that gets hurt is the child. And my wife's a social worker. She's also a therapist, and she talks to people all the time, and she handles cases where she's not like the DSS type social worker. She does more like on the healthcare side, like getting people services and things of that nature. And you can see where it's like when you're dealing with the white patients, like all the services that are available to them, it's amazing. But when you get to the black people that need help, it's like a whole bunch of loops and holes and
It is, and it's
all this
also a
other
lot
type
of,
of stuff.
and it's also a lot of mental health
Yes.
digging that you have to do, because underneath the surface of a lot of, I'm just going to speak generally about men, period. There's a lot of, especially in the urban area, who's been affected by these particular policies and practices by our government. It is a lot of hurt and a lot of anger, that is deep rooted there, because one of the things that we deal with as men is that the lack of showing emotion. Um, to our kids, to our wife. We struggle with that emotional side. So, you're not a man if you cry. Or, like when you was a kid,
You
my
say
grandmother would
gay.
tell me,
Stop being a sissy. Stop being a
exactly, suck
sissy.
it up. I better not see it. And you were taught that, or my uncles would punch me in my chest and you better not cry, suck it up. I'll be hurting and I didn't want to cry.
It hurt. I'm
Yeah.
gonna cry. It hurt.
But,
Shit.
but this is exactly why we've lost our identity as men, because we aren't told, to cry. It's just recently that in the hospital, men were able to stay overnight, with their kids.
Yeah, you had to go home
Yes,
and
exactly. It
come
was
back.
9 o'clock. You had to go. That was just simply it. And when my kids were born, they had to ask my wife, "Is it okay for him to hold the baby?" I'm like, "What?"
I was just here while she put the damn baby out. So why wouldn't it be okay?
Listen, it's
But
a
I
little
get it. They
strange.
be in pain and they be hating you sometimes. So they be like,
But
no,
this,
he
but
can't
this
hold him.
is
He didn't have
this
him. He
is
can't hold him.
right. And this is the system that we're dealing with. And we, I mean, some of my guys. I mean, there was one guy that we that's in my father's group, and his girlfriend, strung out on drugs, crackhead from head to toe. I mean, even had the ashy
Wait a
heels
minute,
and
his
that.
wife and his girlfriend,
Well, no,
or
his girlfriend,
you
just his
messed it
girlfriend.
up?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
okay.
saying, wife, girlfriend, whatever she was to him. And the courts granted her. She didn't even have a job.
And she
The
got
courts granted.
custody.
Yes, she did. She had custody. It wasn't
The system
until
is getting
she got
towards
locked up for prostitution that they finally said you got partial custody.
because you know why? And it's human nature. The woman is the nurturer, so they believe that even the woman. And Shantae, I want you to piggyback. I want you to come in on this. The woman with the worst disposition about herself is still going to get clout over the man when it comes to nurturing the
100%.
child, because just
Yeah.
like in prison, like they will put a young female in a female prison. They won't put a young man in a male prison because we're considered what? Predators. We're
Right.
considered, blah, blah, blah. But a woman, she's nurtured. Yeah, you can put a teenager in there. She ain't going to take care of, she ain't going to take advantage, blah, blah, blah. But if you put a young boy in a male, oh, he going to prey on him. He going to prey on him. He want him, blah, 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 blah. So, Shantae, coming from a woman's perspective, like, what are you seeing in households, two parent households, or just when it's just a mom like yourself, and you're trying to give men the benefit of the doubt, but you got some men that just they don't deserve it.
This is what I'm and I always like to look at like both perspectives because full disclosure, I know it's hard to believe, y'all. I am not a male basher. I do try to stay from Red, you said something smart?
I ain't say shit. I've been quiet as fuck.
Oh, okay. All right.
See,
So
look, she
It
just
just was
wanted
a
to pick a fight
convenient
with me
thought.
so bad,
listen, I'm
yo.
really with the shits today. So if you
She
really
wanted-
want to start with me,
she
we
wanted
can
to-
go. Like I'm
she
really
wanted
with
to
the fucking shits today. Like it's
wanted to
really
fight
been
like
that
so
type of
bad.
week. So if you really want to fucking go, we can fucking go.
Go on, you just
But
want
like I was saying, what I noticed, you know I'm only messing with you, Reg. So,
Yeah.
what I do see is like single women. What I'm getting sick of is bashing the baby dads on social media. Because here's the thing, as much as I can't stand Ken, guess who laid down with him and had a child with him? I did. So I would look like a complete idiot on social media constantly on a rant about he don't do this and he don't do that. And like y'all see my tweets sometimes and I'll be like dropping little like conversations me and him will have together or whatever. But you really just make yourself look like an idiot on some real shit when you're bashing a person you consciously laid down with and
let him
procreated
bust.
with. Right.
Let him bust.
Well,
Right.
that's another thing I think that's important to recognize, even on male side and the female side, is that the person that you choose to lay down with is a reflection of your own intelligence, your own decisions, and you have to live with that. You know, you can't. That's why I tell the guys like, "Oh, she a B, she this that." No. Because what does it say about you? Your decision.
Right.
You can't sit here. You know, she was good enough for you to. You know what I mean? So, you know, keep that same respect and understand this. One thing I don't mean to cut you off, Shantae. One thing I stand by is that men need to understand and know what women go through carrying a child and delivering a child. There's a 50% chance that your woman will die in delivery.
Absolutely.
That, you know, giving birth. It's a 50% chance. Heads or tails. Either she'll make it or she don't. So you go out there trying to talk trash about a woman and she done gave birth, she carried your child. You got a whole lot of issues you need to deal with. For real.
Correct.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with that. Like, it just needs to be accountability. Because we all are adults, and it just seems like that point just gets lost when you have a kid. I get it, things don't work out, and sometimes people be still in their feelings about, you know, why the relationship went left, and now one person is left with the majority of the responsibility of raising that child. I get it because I went through it, being angry, but then I got to a certain point where, you know, piggybacking off of what Prez said, it's accountability of like, I made a conscious decision to be with this man, and made a conscious decision to have unprotected sex with this man, and also decided to, you know, have this child who is a complete blessing. But it gets to a certain point where you just got to let that hurt and that anger go, because it does nothing but fester and grow, and then it just turns into something ugly, and then you start losing focus on what really matters instead of having all this hatred and bitterness and anger, and just, you know, spreading it all over social media. He don't do this, and he, like, it just gets old after a while. Like, after a while, it's like, it's almost like everyone that's like following those. Yeah, it's just like, can you just like not, like, we don't even care anymore. Like, clearly, like, at one point you loved this person or you was attracted to this person and you got pregnant and you had this child.
More likely you still love him. And more likely you still love him because that's why you're doing all that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, and clearly it's behaviors of like, yeah, exactly. Like, your feelings are still hurt. You're still, you know, you refuse to have closure and move on with your life. Is more entertaining, I guess, to be mad and hateful than to be like, all right, you know what? I just want the best for him, but I'm gonna do me. And that's what I decided to do. Like, I'm not gonna be out here looking like an idiot. And hold on for a second, somebody's calling me. Hello.
Yeah.
This is real time, baby. This is real time.
Yeah, where are you at? Did you? Make sure you park on the make sure you park on the street, because they tow people's cars when you park your car.
She talking to Kawhi in his slippers.
Oh wait, what building did you park in front of?
She talking to Kawhi in his slippers.
She got the call.
Real time, baby.
First of all, it is not a booty call. This is my homegirl, so chill out. Y'all doing the most.
That.
Stop
We
it.
just said you got the call, then you said it was that. We just said you got the call.
I hear Luther playing in the background. This world was mine.
Thank you so much.
Wait for love. You've been missing.
Hi.
Hey, baby Tobias. But yeah, man. So, I'm glad I got Prez on here. We could talk about this because we two married men on the panel, and I'm pretty sure we have sometimes, you know, pissed off the wife.
Mhm.
Every now, sometimes,
All the
sometimes. I
time. I
mean,
do it
it,
all the
it
time.
don't
I
happen a
do it
lot.
on purpose, sometimes not on purpose.
But when it comes to, I see, like you see it in a lot of movies. You see when the woman is mad at the man. The first thing she says, "What? Looks like the couch is going to be comfortable for you tonight."
I'm glad you know.
So,
You must got experience on it.
and just to let you know, I got a headache tonight. Like blah 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 blah. Like, why is that a weapon? Why? Why? Why?
Why is one thing I listen. One thing me and my wife, we no matter how much we disagree and we argue and we yell and we go through the whole extremes. We've been married for 22 years, so we've said it all, we've expressed it all, we've done it all. But one thing we've remained constant in is that we made a vow to each other and also to God. That we, for better or worse, rich or poor, to death do you part. And we try to hold that and still try to live our lives in between. We're not like Will and Jada, anything like that. But
No, it's
Right.
going on.
no entanglements, anything like that. um, but we make a point to always remember to never let the sun go down on our wrath. So
Right.
before we close our eyes, we want to make sure whether we agree or disagree, we still address and said, "I heard your voice. I heard what you said. I don't agree with it. I'm upset about it. But that doesn't come between the fact of you're my partner in life. So all that sleeping on the bed stuff or sleeping on the couch stuff, that's out the door. No, I ain't doing it. She ain't doing it. Headaches. Listen, you can have a headache all you want. Just turn it on over. I'm all right. I can do my own work.
Shut up, man. Come
Uh,
on, yo. Jay.
But no, using that as I mean, that's what you said. You're not sleeping in here.
And for
Watching.
full disclosure, that's my wife's the same way. She doesn't believe in going to bed mad, or she don't believe in that couch shit. No matter how much y'all argue or whatever, she's like, you better have your ass in this goddamn bed.
Right. I mean, like I said, we said, I ain't sleeping in here with you. You making me sick. 5 minutes later, I'm like, I want to snuggle and hug.
I can't sleep. I can't sleep in bed. Like my wife, shit, like I'm like steaming mad at me, but she'll be up, and then she'll come in. She'll be like, "What are you doing? Get in the bed." As soon as I get in the bed,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know it's just knowing that I feel good knowing that you're here. You're not nowhere else. I don't know what it is about a man being in the bed, even when you're pissed off at him, but it's so weird. It's a weird dynamic.
Well, I couldn't tell you how it is to be in a bed with another man. Maybe that's just that's just I don't know.
What?
That's what you just said.
Guys, I gotta
You said something about being
go.
in bed. Something about being in bed with another man makes you feel
she's
some kind of
leaving.
way.
She's having company. She's leaving.
And
Okay.
I know it is not a D appointment, okay? One of
Listen,
my
I'm gonna go with what Iron said. 'Cause you
Enjoy
getting off
your
fast, yo.
no,
You getting
see,
off
shut the
fast,
fuck up,
yo.
Reg. Because no, first of all, no. See, here you go.
Jesus.
It's Corey Clement on the phone. Dave, I wish that was on the phone.
You the right
I can't.
complexion.
You know what? I'll be back on. I'll be back next week, and we could talk about this more. But I
Hey,
gotta
All right,
go.
girl.
enjoy your
All right. Be good.
All
Enjoy
right,
your weekend.
All right.
you too.
Enjoy that drawer, girl.
Wrap it up.
Well, it done went from ladies' night to dudes' night out. So listen. So, I know what I want to talk to you, Prez. I know. Go ahead, troll it. Troll the NFL 100 list. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen. All right, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't agree with that list at all, obviously, but it's a list that's made up by their peers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really? I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dan
they're the ones
Dan
on there
Orlovsky
talking about
said.
what rating they are. I mean,
Yeah,
Hey,
Dan Orlovsky
they
said
just
they put a sheet of paper in front of them after a game. Sometimes, like early in the season, they write names down and then they give it to the media person of the team. And then Dan said, whatever happens with them names after that, they don't know.
right. I mean, listen.
Whatever.
I think. Do I think Wentz belongs on that list? Yes, obviously, better than Blake Bortles, obviously. But Blake Bortles was balling in playoffs. I would love to see Wentz in the playoff game and ball.
What's the boy name? Is it Blake Bortles?
Who was it? Was it Bortles?
Not Bortles. You talk about
No, for the Jags a couple
Ryan
years ago.
Tannehill.
No,
You talking about Tannehill?
Tannehill, but I'm talking about for the Jags. Remember when Blake had them rolling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but shit, Wentz was number 3 that year, or number 2 that year, I think.
But he shouldn't listen. Bottom line is Wentz needs to. He should be on the list.
Show it.
I'm saying that.
That's what they remember.
But he needs to show it completely because these guys are being like, "Oh, Wentz is good," but he always get hurt. Wentz is good, but if you get him to
he's a fucking guy. He breaks up all the goddamn.
How about this, y'all? How about this? Breaking news.
What?
I absolutely agree with both of you. It makes no sense you doing it all up until week 16, and then when the eyes are on you the most in the playoffs, where legends are made, where some people are in the Hall of Fame. Look, people want to put Nick Foles in the Hall of Fame because of the 3-game stretch he had.
Yeah.
When you don't play in that tournament, it's hard.
All right, can we have a conversation?
Against people.
Since we having this conversation, let's keep it funky. People hate McNabb mostly. A real lot of facts why people hate McNabb, right? Is because he didn't win the Super Bowl and the playoffs.
1-5.
McNabb always got us to the fucking playoffs and won a playoff game or 2.
Mm-hmm.
People mad at him
It's
because
just those 4 NFC championship games.
Right.
Man, god damn.
I mean, we don't want to talk about the disheartenment of it. But the point I'm making is that people literally come down on McNabb for not winning those games, right? But people won't even acknowledge the fact that Wentz doesn't even get.
I agree, Ryan. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's happening. Something is.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
it's bad luck, whatever. Bad luck, whatever.
Remember, we're just seeing things from the outside. So it could be a thing that Wentz has a reputation amongst players.
Or it just could be that, of course, you're going to vote for your own teammates, and they don't take it. They don't hold that with a grain of salt.
Like I said, they said that the list was taken early in the season. Wentz wasn't playing good. The Eagles weren't playing that good, and I mean, it is what it is.
If you Wentz in the beginning of the season versus Wentz at the end of the year were 2 different
completely different players.
2 different, and that's like, partly because of coaching as well. Because later on, it wasn't until the second half of the year that Doug started rolling him out, giving him the easy looks and stuff like that, and he Wentz took advantage of it.
He played to his strengths.
It's similar to like in the NBA where they get the MVP off the regular season, and then they bomb in the playoffs.
Yeah,
bomb.
Right. Jackson did it. I mean, he played all right, but he didn't play. He played pretty bad.
Right.
Bro, I mean,
like the ones that keep playing, like Jordan did it, Barkley did it, AI did it, Magic did it, Bird did it, LeBron did it. Yep, LeBron did it. Like the true MVP winners, like they show it all year. Yeah.
I mean,
I agree with both of you, man. You're right. Like,
and
I don't care if he slip on a banana peel, dog. You cannot get hurt again. You can't. I'm sorry.
He has a rep. I also think I think last year Wentz's best game, in my opinion, was that second game of the season in Atlanta. It felt like he willed us back to win that game. Like even with Aguilar, remember that pass he was darn on the ground falling through that pass. I think it was to
it was on his knee. It went to
he was on his knee.
It went to J Jaws.
Was it J Jaws or was it Mac?
No,
Matt
it was the boy they cut, Matt Hollins, right?
Yeah, exactly, Hollins. Those
I get both from Manello.
That pass he threw to Aguilar, the Aguilar dropped was just pinpoint, and then on top of that, that pass he threw to Aguilar, the Aguilar caught.
I was at that game, Prez. I was at that game in Atlanta.
When
Aguilar dropped that ball, the Falcons fan patted me on the back like, dog.
That was a touchdown. That was the game right there.
Hey, and it was a tale of 2 halves because Wentz was terrible in the first half, yo.
I mean, I'm thinking about it. If you get your number 1 and number 2 receiver and your tight end going in the pregame.
Yeah, I get that, but he was fucking. I mean, he was throwing the ball to the fucking.
It was horrible, but he got it together. They got it together. I think that was.
No, I was gonna say I think his best game was, and I remember this game because I went with my boys to see it. It was on a Monday night. It was against the Giants. Eli Manning's last game or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That was a good.
I left the bar and started driving home. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let these white people see me pissed off. I'm just gonna go home. By the time I got home, I saw that score. I said, "What the hell happened?"
I would tell you.
Go ahead.
I was down on Wentz at that point. When he turned that, man, won that and led them to win that fucking game, I was like, man, this guy actually is finally. I mean, because we all know I was a Winston sexual, and then he fucking the last year or so, I've been beaten down with the guy, man. The fucking injuries, the
articles,
the backwards play with the people not liking him. I mean, it's a lot of things you have a lot of red flags. It's like, all right. And when he came back and won that game, that really showed me something. Because them guys, when you playing out there with Boston Scott and little bums like that, like, I agree when I hear people say, well, he played with these bums and all that. I'm like, I mean, that's what superstars do, though. When you're a superstar, you're supposed to be
pick your team, you pick your guys up. But you know what I like about Wentz? He never makes an excuse about. You have some quarterbacks that legit they'll be like, well, you know, they
got to do it.
Play
That's
better.
Right.
They put right. Ben does it. Yep. Well, I threw it to where it was supposed to go during the play. He did that a lot. Remember, he did that to Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peyton Manning did it once too.
Absolutely.
I think he did it. I think Jeff Saturday got mad at him or something.
And then he did it a couple times. He did it to the kick. He said the drunk kick and missed the fucking kick.
Yeah. You gotta put it on. Yeah.
I think that Wentz, he has magical moments, but then he has these other moments where you're like, what are you doing? You're better than this. You know what I mean?
He has ultimate highs, and then he has head scratches. Like
he's right. It just
dude, he was right in front of you. How can you not throw that pass to him?
I'm not even gonna lie, and Redskin, he'll tell you I'm telling the truth. I didn't like Wentz at all. I wanted them to draft Dak later on, like in the third or fourth round. I wanted them to take Treadwell, the receiver spot, or either move up to number 2, take
Treadwell after.
You know, I didn't, but I wanted to give Wentz his chance because year one, first game of the season against the Browns, everybody was calling this dude elite after playing the Browns. I was just like, y'all need to stop. Give this dude a chance to establish himself. You know,
hold on, Fred. Out of all fairness, we came off a pussy poop.
Listen, I don't care. I agree. You left. I agree, but you gotta let these guys before we start crowning these dudes. Let them play 2-3 seasons first before we saying like this is why I'm like cautiously optimistic about Miles Sanders. You know, he looks good, but I want to see him handle a sophomore year and then his junior year before we graduate into, you are Christian McCaffrey, type of running back. We don't give him their, because you don't know. We haven't seen him carry the load in the NFL by himself yet.
He ain't in this offense. You know that.
Not according to Deuce Staley. I heard Deuce today. Deuce said that.
I didn't hear Deuce. What did Deuce say?
He said Miles Sanders will 100% have over 25 touches a game.
Yeah, he's gonna be the guy. He said you got
Hey-o. But he also saying that because he don't know if we gonna have a season.
Right. And these guys are putting in the work. I love the work that they're putting in, and seeing him. He looks stronger, more fit. Same thing with Corey Clement. That's why the girl off the line, Shantae off the line. But they all look like they're doing their thing. He even spoke well of Adrian Killins today too.
He did.
Prez, I know I ask you this all the time, but give me it's just something about Rager. I don't know if it's him just because we've seen it all before when people be like, "Oh, you doubted me, I'm gonna do this," and then they don't do shit. But he just seems different. I don't tell me why I'm wrong and tell me why I'm right about Rager.
Well, he's been doing this since high school. Remember, he went to the Dallas Cowboys training camp as a high schooler and was killing
I
everybody
didn't
on
know that.
routes.
I didn't know
Yes,
that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't know that neither. I didn't know.
yes. He
But
the
it kind of
coaches the
bloodline
coaches
stuff.
thought he was an NFL player in high school. And that's why I talk about pedigree. He comes from a football family. His father, and okay, you're gonna be. At first, he was a running back in junior high and high school, early part of high school, and then he wanted to change to wide receiver. He absolutely killed the game. They said the attention to detail and running routes is crazy. His coach said the same thing. He said people love his speed and his athletic ability. He said, but what you're gonna love most about him is his ability to run routes. He runs every route on a route tree. He's not one that he needs to learn because he's learning them. He learned them all in high school and his first 2 years in college.
The
So
thing
Okay.
the thing that
I
they said
think that
about
he's
him
going
that I
to be.
heard.
Go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
Red.
Prez. I was gonna say the thing I heard about him that sometimes that he doesn't do, is sometimes he worries about he when it's like a short pass. Sometimes he'll think about running and not securing the catch all the time, and looking in the catch and making sure he secures that catch.
Yeah. That's part of that. The comparison people say, "Oh, Nelson
Maturation
Aguilar."
process.
No, he's not Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar in college was a 100% slot receiver who came to NFL and played on the outside. His best year was 2017, where he played where in the slot.
Predominantly in the slot. Yes.
Absolutely, he had 8 touchdowns in the slot. Nelson Aguilar. This was what his college coach said. When his college coach said, when Chip Kelly when they drafted him, he asked him, "What do you know about Nelson Aguilar?" They said, "Well, he's a great slot receiver. He's not ready to play on the outside." What did they do when he came here? Put him on the outside. Why? Because Jordan Matthews was our slot receiver.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Pete Carroll coached him. Number one, if I'm not mistaken, I remember playing with Aguilar on the college football game, and he was always he played on the slot, and he played with Robert Woods, and he played with what's the other kid that went to USC with him?
Prez, with everything that's going on, President, I mean, I get it. Like, we all support what Godwin did, but I'm talking about on a football field. What are we giving up? The obvious thing is speed, but honestly, what are we losing?
Veteran leadership.
Goodwin?
Veteran
Yes.
leadership.
I think that what you're losing in Goodwin is simply depth. To be honest with you, I mean, he's we are going to be, in my opinion, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised if we have a season with Hightower and if Quez Watkins makes the team.
I agree.
I think that those two. I think that especially Hightower.
Oh, that's a bullshit car right there, man. What the fuck, yo?
But Hightower, he put on weight at the combine and still ran a 4.2.
Yeah,
that's
a
4.34 some shit.
No, Hightower did that. It was a 4.42. But he's adding weight, he's still that fast. This guy and his route running ability is crazy. It's the fact I think he went to Liberty. Did he go to Liberty or what school? Louisville or
the Bluefield?
Yeah, so small, right?
Yeah.
No, it was
not Liberty. What's the team with Bluefield?
With the green field. What the fuck is that school name? Damn it.
Yeah,
Oregon State.
I forget. Well, it was
not Tulsa. It's a Bluefield.
Yeah, the Bluefield. Yeah, that blue jerseys, orange helmet. Look, I forget.
I don't know. Arizona.
It
wasn't Arizona State, no.
No, I wasn't Arizona State. No, it's like
I don't know the name of school. But my thing is we're losing
Boise State. Boise State.
There we go. Yeah.
Boise State.
My thing
with
Godwin is veteran, is losing a veteran who's played in this league. There's no problem depending on a bunch of young guys, but my worry is that they have off season to work with Carson like they usually not like to. They don't work with the coaches up front. Like the Zoom videos is all good and well, but to me that's not real. That's not you. I mean, you're not getting the real thing working on a video at home. You know what I mean?
But you say veteran leadership, but did Jimmy Kempsky's favorite player die? Alshon is still here.
Alshon, but we don't know what Alshon is going to play or not. We don't know.
Well, Adam Kaplan, and I like Prez, but he was like, man, fuck Alec Kaplan. Adam Kaplan said he might be ready. He just might
We
not be ready week 1.
might be ready. See, the thing about Mike is I might be the fucking king of the United States, but
You ain't gonna be no king.
not
Well,
though.
first of all, we're not a matriarch.
Right.
Right. Well,
I
so we're
might
not holding.
be president of the United States, but I ain't the president right now.
No, you're not. I'm already pressed.
Right. There you go. So my point is, we don't know. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
To me, the Eagles just need to go out and sign a Tyler Gabriel just for fucking insurance purposes.
I don't think they
Well,
need to. I
well,
really
if
don't.
I know the Eagles, either they're probably going to add a camp somebody,
Oh,
or they're honestly going to go with what they have. Because
I,
the Eagles, they're either going to go with what they have, or they're going to go with what they know. And Jordan Matthews is not coming back.
No,
So,
can I give you a name? Can I give you a name?
but
Reggie Davis. He was on the team last year.
Robert
They
Davis.
got him off of the Redskins practice squad.
Robert
last
Davis.
year. Robert Davis, Reggie Davis, whatever
You know-
Davis. No, he's fast and he's 6'2".
Yeah, you saw.
Like he's fast. He's like 6'2", 210 pounds.
Hold on, did they cut the other dude they got from the Jets that made that crazy ass catch? What's his name? He can't. What the fuck is his name? I like Tim too.
Talking about the ball from USC.
Yeah, he went to SC.
Prez,
I like Tim.
Prez, let me ask you something. Let me ask the panel something. Why is at wide receiver, you can have like 30 wide receivers, height, weight, speed, abs, route, everything, but only 2 of them will make it in the NFL? Why is wide receiver so hard to evaluate?
Route running, understanding coverages. It's all mental for these guys, and you could have you could be Billy McMullen, look like a T.O. clone. He was a specimen. Look at him like, man, I gotta go to the gym and look like Billy McMullen. You know what I mean? But he could play like he was like a McMuffin. I don't know. He was just horrible. He didn't know how to run a route. He didn't know how to read coverages. He didn't know how to come back to a ball. He was just, he had all the physical tools, but he had the smarts.
There's all you don't get good coaching, you're just not going to get it,
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Reg and Prez, did you hear what Deshaun said to Rager?
When they like take the fucking job.
Yeah.
No, what's that again?
He basically
Did
told.
you hear what Deshaun said to Rager?
He said, "Don't be patient. Go in there and take the fucking job.
Take it.
Go take it." Yeah.
Well, especially with Goodwin now opting out, Rager is the clear cut.
He's in prime position, that's for sure.
Number 2 receiver on the team.
Yeah, he's in prime.
Until Alshon comes back.
The Eagles' injury history tells me they just can't be dependent on all these dudes to stay up because it's just that it doesn't never work like that with the Eagles, yo. It just never does.
Prez, give me the 3 wide receiver set. Who's
Everybody's healthy?
Everybody's healthy.
I'm going Jeffrey, Rager, and Deshaun.
That's easy. I mean, that was easy.
That's tough. And then you put them in a bunch formation? Like, especially Godwin was still here. Godwin, Deshaun, and Rager in a bunch.
And you know what?
It'll be crazy. You don't know whether they're gonna run a pass in that.
You know what I would do, and you know what I would do to fuck with people a little bit from time to time. I mean, all 3 of those dudes can line up in the slot and do some things in the slot when they want to at times. I mean, you could just do all types of fucking fun.
Doug is creative, so it's no doubt he looking across, he looking at that speed, and he's like, "All right, let's go." You know what I'm saying?
Losing Goodwin hurts you in a little bit if that's what Doug wanted to do, but Deshaun Jackson can do pretty much everything that Goodwin could do and do it better.
More polished. He's more polished.
Right. He's a better polished receiver. Deshaun Jackson is actually a very good route runner now, whereas before it was
very good.
But now he'll hit you with that like he's going on a streak, and the next thing you know, he's going to come back or he's going to out route. He comes back to the ball perfectly. He reads defenses very well.
Right.
And he learned. Sad to say, but he learned that in Washington.
You know what? I'm gonna say something that y'all might not want to believe. I'm gonna give Chip Kelly one thing credit for. It seemed like when his last year here with Chip Kelly, he started running more different routes a little bit more than he ever did when he was with Andy. If you notice, he got a lot of more of those little instead of going deep
I agree
balls,
with that.
he started getting more like passes just for first downs and shit instead of going like super
passes and gimmicks.
Yeah.
And I mean, can you imagine what the team would look like if you had Goodwin, Rieger, and Deshaun Jackson on the field with Miles Sanders? I mean, that speed alone would be ridiculous. I mean,
and then you go sign Devontae Freeman and find a place to put him with all these fucking weapons somewhere.
They're not signing Freeman. From what it sounds like to me, Deuce Staley said today that he said that Boston Scott and Miles Sanders and Clement
I think he loved those three.
He said they're young, but they all played. Remember, Miles Sanders was your week 1 last year starter. He was a starter for a long time until Howard started going, and then Howard got hurt.
He may have the best hands on the damn team.
Yeah. So and then he spoke about Adrian Killins. He's the running back from out of South Florida, I believe it is.
Yeah, I just don't see how. The fucked up thing with them is they don't have a chance to make the team because of what's going on.
But apparently they're on the field now. And what Deuce said today was that this dude is small and special. He said most small guys like Donnell Pumphrey aren't special.
Didn't last. Yeah.
He said Killings.
Oh, fuck Webster, man. Fuck Webster.
Everything about Killings you see on tape. You see somebody who's special and who's dynamic. You don't give them a chance.
I'm gonna go ahead and pivot because I almost got to get off or whatever. But we got KM on here and
what up?
We all talk. We all know what's coming up tomorrow. It's in our veins.
Basketball. Are we talking about basketball? I got some hot takes to get off real quick.
Well, hold on, Reg. You will get a chance to get your hot takes. 8 games. KM, what do you need to see in these 8 games from the Sixers?
In order. I need
however you want to say it, buddy.
I need to see Tobias at least 20-8. I need to see Thibault not foul out of the game or even come close to fouling out of the game. The less fouls he commits, the more minutes he's going to play. But you talked to me a couple months ago before quarantine. I was having a hard time defending Ben with the shot and everything. I know I seen Ben take 2 shots the other day, but something about Ben the last couple of scrimmage games, he's walking around with a fucking glow. He's walking around with he's been too cocky for the NBA since the second he walked in. He's been way into his own head. But I think he fucking believes it now. I think I need to see Tobias and the Bull. That's what I need to see. I think them two are on. We're gonna be something to fucking reckon with.
Everybody knows I've been a Tobias hater. I watched some of that game the other day, and they were losing, and it looked like Tobias single-handedly brought them back in the fucking game.
He did. He did.
100. Tobias seems like he's ready to go. Ben didn't look that great that night. I mean, I fell asleep on the game, so I don't know what the fuck.
He looked like Ben. This is what I think about Ben, and Prez, you could tell me if I'm wrong. He's legit one of those dudes that he really wants everybody around. Like, he will be happy with 15 points and 35 assists. But where his problem is, he waits too long to realize, hey, they ain't hitting shit. And I'm the only one that could get to the rack. At least I could get to the rack, slow the game down, get a free throw. He takes too long to be aggressive. And he still doesn't finish like a 6'10" guy. I see him try to go around people on layups. Like, dude, you're 6'10". Go through him. So, Prez, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, is that a fair assessment of Ben Simmons?
It's a 100% accurate assessment of Ben Simmons. Ben to me is a mental midget. He's the guy who's
Down goes to Dixie.
he's the guy who's worried about his stats and how pretty he looks. He believed the hype before he was actually worthy of it. So he was the prince. LeBron James was the king, and Ben believed every bit of it to the point where he didn't feel like he needed to learn how to shoot. I think now with his therapy, he's seeing the fact that that he really isn't a complete basketball player. I don't care what you do in practice. You can do it all you want in practice, but until you start doing it on the court, it don't mean nothing. You're going to always be limited. You're going to always hurt the team that way. If you're really about the team, you're going to do whatever you got to do to be the best player you could possibly be. And you just watch that. Maybe he watched the Jordan tapes and you saw all that, where you realize that he can step up the game because he's crazy talented. He's very talented. He's one of the most talented players in the NBA. But until he, put it all together and realize that if he can't play the point, play the four. If he can't play the four, play the five.
And he is now. And I just with Ben, I think for some reason I might be crazy. I think this AAU atmosphere will help him because who's going to say what fan is going to be like you can't shoot? What fan? They're virtual. Like nobody's going to heckle him. If he shoots his shot, he shoots his shot. I mean,
let me comment.
And you've already
let me comment on that, please.
Go ahead,
because I think that's very popular. What people say about Ben, about wanting to look good in front of the crowd, and now that the crowd pressure ain't there, I think if there's a crowd of 1 or 1 million, Ben is going to do whatever he wants to do. Like I said a minute ago, in his head, he walked into the game. I think Ben is from a fan standpoint, he's a horrible combination of too cool for school, smooth as fucking smooth could be, a millennial, and physically better than everyone. Put that all together, sometimes it can come off lackadaisic. Sometimes it can come off, I don't care. Sometimes it come off, fuck you, I'm going to do my own thing.
Well, I'm an all-star.
Westbrook runs the court.
It reminds me somewhat of what Derek Coleman used to do sometimes. A little bit. Derek Coleman thought he was the shit, and he wasn't.
But Ben is. But Ben is.
But Ben could be. Ben could be the shit.
You ain't gonna talk to me about Derek Coleman.
You can get all mad all you want. Ben,
listen,
could be the shit, but he ain't.
Ben
I respect Larry Brown, and Larry Brown said
compared to Magic Johnson, LeBron
and Derek
James,
Coleman.
And Derek Coleman.
But listen.
It don't matter who.
Go ahead, Fred.
I used to call Ben to me. Ben comp was Lamar Odom, in my opinion. I think that Lamar Odom. Yeah, I think he was Lamar Odom. Comp was a perfect comp for him. But as far as Derek Coleman is concerned, back in the day, Derek Coleman was so freaking talented. He was just the laziest dude. He played whenever he wanted to play. When he could dominate a game, Derek Coleman could have been the best player in his era. He could have been, but he was just too busy.
Larry Brown said the same thing. Larry Brown loved him.
He's the shit.
Remember, Larry Brown used to give the game to him, and AI used to defer to Derek Coleman sometimes because the dude was so
talented,
and mentally his basketball IQ was so high. It was just one of those things where. And I talked to him, like I did a concert. I did security for a concert, and DC was there. And I asked him, I was like, DC, what was the rep about you, being lazy and stuff like that? He was like, man, listen, he pulled up his shorts. He said, you see my knees? Man, he got so many damn surgery scars. He was like, man, I will go in my hotel room and I will have to sleep sitting in my couch with ice on my knees. I can't lay down. That's how bad my knees were. So when you saw me being lazy and uninterested, I was really in a hell of a lot of pain. But he wasn't. you know, he was like, I did what I could do, but you know, people just don't know what some of these athletes would be going on. Like when you want to like, not you, Prez, but when you want to say like they lazy or why they look like they don't care. Like you don't know, like they baby mama may have shot themselves in the face. Like you just don't know.
Well,
I agree.
What's
I agree.
but we
starts
did all agree that he was super talented, super
when
talented.
we talk back to Ben Simmons. His whole point, my whole point is that Ben Simmons think he's better than when he puts himself on a pedestal already. He's not there yet. And listen to it. His family is at fault for that. You listen to his sister, his crazy ass sister, and she just sit up there and say, "Well, he don't need a jump shot. He's already in ours." They put that shit in his fucking head. His family put that shit in his head.
Remember when they used to ask Ben Simmons to play the 4? He said, "No, I'm a point guard."
Right.
His whole attitude changed now.
Because Brett told him that. Brett crowned him from day one, even when Larry Brown was like, whoever thinks Ben Simmons is a point guard is an idiot. He's a point forward.
I'm going to wait and see how long the point forward thing is going to last.
I think it's going to last. I think it's going to last.
I don't
I think it's going to last. He loves playing with Tate. He loves playing with Tate.
Because everybody went on a thing when MB said he want to play with Ben Simmons.
Listen, well, Embiid is there though.
No, listen to me. Everybody said it went on a thing when MB said he want to play with Ben the rest of his career. We're gonna see if Ben Simmons feels the same way about MB, because they gotta be willing to take and give each other.
Oh no,
part.
Harden went down hard.
Harden is hurt.
He looked good too, man. He done lost. He can't go to the strip club. He done lost a lot of lbs.
Harden, is he cut up? Is he cut up?
He holding his thing. No, wait a minute. He getting up.
He's tying the shoe. Yeah, he's tying the shoe.
Limping. He another one. He looked like a YMCA like dad bod dude, but he's probably the most lethal.
My man runs
player in the past.
So many fucking miles in a week. He burns probably 30,000 calories in a fuking day. And he's got baby fat all over his arms, bro. Like, what the fuck?
That's just the way he is. He's just the way he is.
Hey, President KM, did you hear when they tried to compare Harden to somebody? He said, no. Actually, if you want to compare me to somebody, I'm more like AI.
There's no one in the history of the NBA you can compare Harden to. Harden is as original as it gets. Yeah, I think when Harden first came in the league, I've become much. I've never been a Harden hater. I've never been a fan. I've become much more of a fan recently. When he first came in the league, I always said he's the perfect example of everything that's bad about basketball. Dribble all by yourself, ISO, get a foul, go to the line.
I mean, but it worked.
He's made a fucking career out of it. And he's got one of the greatest shots in the history of the fucking game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And if you like basketball,
it looked like he got
the San Antonio Spurs.
It looked like he got 7 points already in
and
his game.
Ball movement and play breakdowns. If you like 2020 ball, you like 43s in a game. I think Harden is fucking phenomenal.
I think he can do it all. I think
everything
he can do it
you don't like in basketball. If you like to hate on basketball, he's a prime example.
Well, I think with James Harden, the system that Mike D'Antoni is
right, it makes him like that.
Makes him do that, you know? That's what they asked him to do. They weren't doing, and he didn't start doing that until last year when Chris Paul got hurt. Chris Paul got hurt, and then they went to the system where Harden had to carry the whole fucking team. So he was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go YOLO and score. Remember, he scored like 51 games, 61 games, 40.
Bro, like,
he was just
going.
He averaged 48 a month. He averaged like 48 a month.
Right. Remember when Mikal was there, he was more of a 20, 25 high assist. He was a more player. But then once D'Antoni came, that's when it became 36, 6, and 5. It was night and day. But I think he could do both.
He's got the coldest blood in the NBA. On offense, he's got the coldest fucking blood in the NBA.
Him, Curry. I'm missing somebody that like when you need a shot, like
Curry's ignorant.
I got it.
Curry's ignorant as fuck.
And Kemba, I can't sleep on Kemba.
Hey, you forgot about KD. Don't.
Reggie, you're touching my heart. Can I?
Yo,
the both in space right here. I hate this.
Trailblazers.
So I took a hiatus.
Oh, Lillard.
I took a hiatus from basketball, probably like early mid 2000s. The biggest, baddest in the game just got like too soft for me. And plus, I'm in my early 20s going to clubs and shit. You know what I mean? So like, good time in that couple years. I wasn't heavy in the ball. One day I'm clicking around. And I see this fucking boy, he's like 6'11", and he's got the nerve to like at the 3-point line and pull up fadeaway three. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is why I'm not watching basketball anymore. But then he did it again, and he did it again. And I'm like, who is this fucking kid? It was KD, yo. KD brought me fucking back to basketball. He might have been like second year KD. And
he's a science experiment. He really is. Because it's like.
He's 7 foot, yo. He is 16, he's 7 foot, yo.
I mean, like people tried to compare, like my dad compared them. My dad really likes KD, and my dad compared him to George Gervin. He watched all the George Gervin games. He said, "You want to talk about somebody that it just was nothing you can do? Like you could just hope that they're just off, or they don't feel like playing that day." He said because KD's game, the reason why he reminded him of that because KD's game and Gervin's game were so effortless. It was like they're not sweating. So you look at their stat sheet and they got 30, 10, and 5, and you're like, but he's not sweating. Like, how did he get that? So, yeah, I agree. Yeah, KD, yeah. He's definitely a science experiment.
If he healthy, the Sixers better take what they can do where they can. If he come back even close to what he was before he got hurt,
I think 95% of Philly forgot that he's in fucking Brooklyn.
Listen, and you know what? But call me crazy. You know what I'm not shaking about KD?
He's cold, yo.
You know why I'm not shaking?
Why?
Because listen.
Because what?
And y'all could get pissed off at me. I just think, far as defense, like Ben Simmons, like he's that ignorant that he'll be like, y'all bragging about KD, put me on him.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you what.
Oh yeah, I saw Iron. I saw Boss. I saw.
He gonna rock.
Oh boy, that's about.
Listen,
that's the picture y'all were talking about.
We already know.
What was the ankles to thighs ratio?
I was gonna say your girl was just on the TV, man.
Yeah, her and
ridiculous. She's
yep.
a little ridiculous.
Listen, in that bubble with all those black players.
Yo, y'all remember?
You seen somebody already recorded while she didn't know she was being recorded already.
Yes,
yo, to your point, Prince, Ben Simmons in high school. Remember, he used to go to the summer camps where the NBA players used to play,
right?
And for the McDonald's job, and KD was there, Anthony Davis was there, James Harden was there. And I forget who else was there.
LeBron was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, but Ben Simmons locked down Harden on one play. The next play defended Anthony Davis, and on the next play after that, shut down KD. All within 3 seconds.
Oh, I'm not
all good and well. Now, I think KD, when KD want to get his shot the fuck up, he gonna get that.
I agree, Reg. Nobody's saying KD won't get his, but I'm just saying, like Ben Simmons
will make it work.
He gonna make it work. I'm not.
Work.
Man, he gonna make you work, but
like you gonna have to let LeVert and
without
beat us.
I don't think
sending you to the foul line.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Brooklyn about to make another move. It ain't gonna be LeVert. LeVert ain't gonna be there long because KD.
What the hell?
They're going to trade for somebody else to go along with them. They're going to add another piece because KD and Kyrie running that team now, yo.
Yo, where these people be coming from, yo?
What?
You see, you can share anything. Can you help me and my family? We struggling to get food.
Sorry to hear a lot of people.
That's serious. That's her
If it's
burner
real,
account.
contact me.
I bet you that's a white guy too doing that because he picked the most generic father and daughter photo.
If it's real, you see the name. Get in touch with me if it's real. You see it. I'm easy to find. If it's real,
Baby
you
boy
do your homework. You
970.
find me.
Whenever they got names, whenever they got letters, numbers like that,
Baby boy 974.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
some bullshit.
he Googled black culture and he said baby boy. Okay, baby boy.
Tyrese.
That sounds good. That sounds good name. Good name.
Look, it says
Now
LOL,
he-
real shit. LOL, real shit. Real. No, man, fuck out of here.
No, he gonna come. Next
Nah.
time you gonna see Django 456-921.
No, who got that? It's probably them little kids again, man.
Listen, I feel honored though that they will come and troll my show. No, I have no words. It's funny to me. like, come on, man. This ain't no damn telethon. But like Mark
fans
said,
have trolls, yo.
We ain't doing make a wish campaigns on here right now, yo.
yeah, them girls, yeah, Prez's grandchildren was loud and proud. Iron, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, man.
But I'm gonna have to go, y'all, cause
Hey, baby boy, make a go for me if you need some money. Don't fucking come on the show asking us for no damn money. We all
30
broke on here. LOL.
30 seconds. Go ahead, KM. Let's start with you, buddy.
This is in honor of baby boy 970-637-40. Since we're all in charitable moods right now, might as well go ahead and mention the America Cares Foundation, which is the charity that myself and Alicia own. We provide free martial arts to kids and adults in Philadelphia with special needs. So if anybody would like to make a contribution, you can give me a call. You can give me an email at any time, and I'd love to accept your money.
Sounds
Very good. And I can vouch for KM. It's 100% legit going to his charity. Like it's good. Like, and
I
he
got
may
a
not be Steven Seagal, but it's good. Trust me, it's good, man.
And
Great
Prince, by the way, I
artist
got
of
a
all
t-shirt
time.
coming your way with the foundation and everything. I got a t-shirt coming your way.
Okay,
So
I
if you could,
appreciate that. Hey, give me links and stuff so I could
send me
plug
a
it, man.
message.
All right, now I guess Prez going and stop sending me text messages about CB oils, man. I don't want them.
No, listen. It's good for your blood pressure.
I text stop.
Better you than me.
It wasn't me. I didn't do that.
Go ahead, Prez. You got 30 seconds, big homie. Go ahead.
I'm just listening. I wanted to tell everybody be safe. Take everything that's going on seriously. I mean, it's unfortunate what happened in the news to Mr. Herm,
Mr. Kane.
But this is what happens when we make some of these dumbest decisions. You're in the video dancing, laughing, and smiling like it's a joke. And then that joke becomes true. And then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, the family's there, left there, pick up the pieces. And as men, as fathers, providers, we need to be a little bit more smarter, wiser, and better in our decision making that we do. Because what we do affects our generation and the ones that follow.
Amen. Reg?
All right, so mine's I'm gonna try to get this done as fast as I can. So I watched the NBA, and I think it's cool and all good that they want to do the nailing thing, and I understand, but I think it's kind of corny because Cat did this shit 5 years ago. Y'all wasn't down to do it. Now y'all want to make a profit off of doing it now because it's cool, and y'all want to do the marketing of the fucking jersey names and all that bullshit. Honestly, how is this going to help change any fucking thing? Can anybody answer? Anybody on here really want to answer that question?
I'm guessing maybe it keeps like you keep seeing Breonna Taylor's name. You'll be like, okay, what are they talking about? Who is this Breonna Taylor lady? And I guess it's one of those where you
feel like the only thing
at the forefront of people's mind.
The only thing that seemed to get people to fucking listening is when they was tearing up shit, when they was rioting. That's the only thing that got people to even talk. them doing this shit. All I heard about today was what LeBron did at the end of the game. I didn't hear shit about no fucking Breonna Taylor. I didn't hear nothing about. They weren't talking about none of that shit. So my whole point is, stop the NBA and NFL. All you motherfuckers, stop trying to profit off of propaganda of Black Lives Matter, because you know all you doing is making marketing money and playing games with the shit you don't really necessarily give a fuck completely about. That's all I'm saying.
Go ahead, Mark. You said you had something.
Reggie is so fucking right there. I can't speak for all the white community, but let me speak for a good portion of it. They ain't trying to see the kneeling. They ain't trying to see, you know, it. Fuck, Reggie, you said it. The only thing that fucking got people listening was the riots. That is not the answer. That is not the answer.
It's not.
But
listen,
a lot of Portland's still a fucking mess right now. But a lot of the riots have fucking died down big time.
Completely.
And now it's annoying because now it's LeBron. LeBron, he's kneeling it. And the message is losing.
And Jonathan Isaac didn't do nothing wrong because he didn't want to kneel.
No, absolutely not.
It's just like anybody's decision to kneel and not kneel. Just don't shit on people that doing it and is not doing it. That's all I say.
Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
Kneeling is not a prerequisite to being a part of Black Lives Matter. Disrespect or not respecting the national anthem is not a prerequisite of being a black person.
Speak on it, Fred.
So you know, people get it twisted with just these little outward actions, when the real thing we need to, you know, get involved with is making sure that our local legislations are being passed. We're voting. We're making a difference in our community. We're taking care of each other. We are considering one another. We're wearing masks. We're talking about health, not just health. I'm wearing masks, but in the black community, it's not just about the coronavirus, but it's about heart health, blood pressure, diabetes, other factors of things that can hurt you as a black person in America. Is more than just the coronavirus. It's more than just police killing. It's more than, you know, all those things. We have to remember that we are the total package. It's a lot of things we have to focus on and worry about. And so whether or not I kneel or I stand for a national anthem, it should not disqualify me for, you know, my voice and my actions. I might not do what you do. And it's another thing is that, you know, LeBron James talking about he wanted to make sure Kaepernick was proud. This has nothing to do with
Kaepernick. See, they keep messing up the movement. They keep
nothing to.
Kaepernick don't give a fuck.
He's not protesting because of Kaepernick. Nobody don't care if he will get a job or not. Right. I don't care about that. I worry about my doggone daughter, my son. That's Breonna Taylor is my daughter. You know, George Floyd, that's my son.
Correct.
So I'm gonna worry about that every single day that they go outside those doors. You know, that they're safe and they're protected. I got to worry about that. That's my priority, that there are laws in place to protect them and their future.
Right. And I'm tired of them trying to make and stop telling us that y'all doing this restart is dedicated to Black Lives Matter. Because
it's not. It's dedicated to
they're profiting off of that. They're making money off of that kind of stuff. And it's sickening. You want to make sure Black Lives Matter, get it. I want to see it on the Senate floor. I want to see laws passed that protect people of color. I want to see that.
Right. All this other shit is just nasty bullshit.
Right. I don't need to buy a t-shirt.
Right.
I'm not going to buy a mask. I'm not going to buy a hoodie. Listen, put it in action. Do something about it. If it matters, help your community. I'm saying this right here, and I promise I'm done. I'm working with Black fathers in the community that, you know, they're trying to rehabilitate their lives. I've been working with them for over a year. And they called me up today. They started an LLC, a car wash business for their own little community, their own little block. And they say that it was because of finally somebody telling them that they can work together and that they can work as equals, that they finally decided they started a car wash. They bought equipment. They went and got everything legalized. It was just a beautiful thing to see these men that the system wrote off, because they all got records. The system wrote them off. That they're rehabilitate themselves, where they have they're running out of church, renovated it, using it as a computer science class and stuff like that. It's refreshing to see them put it in act. meaning that Black lives matter to them. Their community matters.
Right.
And I respect everything that all of you said. I really can't put it any better. But I will say this. I want to piggyback a little bit off of what Prez said. Vote for your local people, because guess what? When all this Corona stuff happened, 45 made his suggestion, but guess who said if you were phase 1, 2, green, red, blue?
Your governor.
The governor. So y'all need to stop focusing so much at the top. Like Roy Cooper is our governor. When 45 gave him an ultimatum about having an RNC here, Cooper was like, no. So just focus, like Press said, it's very important. Don't go straight to the top when you're on your ballot. The people locally is important. I cannot stress that enough. But I also want to say tomorrow, so what? Sixers are playing. Go Sixers. I'm gonna be watching. I went to have my annual physical, and
let's go.
When I was diagnosed, I had my A1C was a 12.4. Just Wednesday, it's down to a 6.4.
Congratulations,
bro.
So
good shit.
Yeah,
good. You almost at that, the reversal stage, bro.
Yeah.
Doing a good job, man.
And I'm gonna keep going, man. I want to see veins. I want to see one ab, yo. But I'm just gonna take at a time. And and
yo, can we just speak on the fact that Harden already got 20 points in the fucking first quarter, yo? This shit crazy.
Listen.
This shit crazy.
And James Harden looked dangerous. He's smaller. He's quick.
He out here balling, yo. And
But and that's all I had to say. And again, I appreciate everybody for coming in. Shantae, she was on a little bit. She had to drop off.
I got one.
I appreciate y'all.
I got one thing to the NBA. Stop thinking because they donating money that they doing something. They ain't donating money. Don't solve all the problems, baby. By the way,
and y'all. Y'all look out for me on Monday. I'm doing a show with Main Event, so that's gonna be fun. If y'all don't know Main Event, dude,
I don't know who this fucking guy is, but you're promoting him as like this big karate guy out of fucking Philly. Semi-offended.
Y'all do that? Did y'all do that?
Listen,
that live thing?
Listen, Mark. Listen. I got 2 styles of martial arts.
Semi-offended.
You represent the Steven Seagal side, and he represents the Jim Kelly side. See, I go to
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. Listen.
Okay.
Or Bruce Leroy, which one you want? It ain't too many. I'm not immersed in that world. There ain't too many black martial artists that I know.
Are you talking to Last Dragon?
Yeah, Last Dragon. Hey, Blue, did y'all ever do that live? Did y'all do that Usher and Chris Brown live? I forgot about that. I just thought about it.
So what? Oh yeah, I did that. I did that yesterday. Well, I won, of course.
All right. Well, who did the fans say won?
I did.
Okay. If you say it, I ain't see it. I forgot.
That's my story, and I'm gonna stick to it.
I'm still ready to put Raphael Sadiq up against anybody.
Yeah, if you want to light incense and learn about yourself.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
I'm trying to get it in.
You know my playlist is full of Pusha T and Jeezy.
I got
amounts of Raphael Sadiq albums in there.
But Raphael Sadiq is like, it's when you really want to like.
Go ahead. He's A to fucking Z. That's who he is.
That's what
A to Z.
He has his own lane. Like you can't put him in R&B.
He's eclectic. He's eclectic, man.
I got dozens of R&B songs from him. What do you want? You want to go pop?
Get a lot of other
Motown? You want to go R&B?
No, I'm just saying
you want to go happy? You want to go sad? Come on.
But when you bring up R&B, you don't say Raphael Sadiq.
That's because you got no couth.
So now I gotta look that up. No couth. Couth. Let's see. Couth. Let me see.
I don't even know if I use the word right.
You ain't gonna be saying words to me.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is about.
Truth, cultured, refined, and well mannered.
Man, that cat want to be dropping big ass words like Prez be doing. Like I don't know what the fuck. He called a
What?
motherfucker
Listen.
a tiger
Prez read a lot of books.
Yo, he
And
called a motherfucker a tiger. I'm like, what the fuck is a tiger?
Troglodyte.
like
Troglodyte.
I
Whatever
be
you
on the
pronounce that
phone.
shit, yo.
I be on the phone with Prez.
Yo,
I'm
it's like, what the
yo.
fuck is that, yo?
I'm like, Prez, yo, you playing the Division? He be like, yeah, man, I'm gonna play. But the Division remind me of this book by Jim Halsack. Yeah, have you ever read Jim Halsack? I'm like, Prez, no, I have not read Jim Halsack. I don't know.
Who the fuck is Jim Halsack?
No, I don't know.
Yo, he called motherfucker. Say that word again.
Troglodyte.
Troglodyte. I was like, what the fuck is a troglodyte? Yo, he fucking calling motherfucking shit.
I'm thinking a lesbian with bad breath.
Right,
Dragon.
that's what I'm thinking, like a lesbian with
No, it was a European caveman.
right.
You know,
This
it was-
motherfucker done pulled this word out. Like, what the hell?
It was you
That's
know,
what happens when a black man has too much knowledge. I'm gonna
He
say
called me some other shit. I forgot what it was. He called me some other crazy ass shit. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Dragon
like
Knight.
a botfly. That's what I call
Yeah,
it.
that shit. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yo, I told Rams to look up botfly, and he was like, "Yo, that's disrespectful."
Like the karate guy from Martin, Dragonfly, like that guy. Like,
Oh, Dragonfly Jones.
Botfly maggot.
Excuse, quiet, silent.
if you're just practicing your art, you can walk in the dark.
You
Like,
just practicing your
Respect
craft
me,
with need no lights.
hello. Now it's a pleasure for you to meet me. I studied under Bruce Lee. Wow, you studied with Bruce Lee? Yeah, he was on the 3rd floor. I was on the 2nd.
Yo, I love Martin. Yo, that shit is. And
Yep.
boy, whoop
All
his ass
time,
every
my
goddamn
number
time,
one
yo.
sitcom of all time.
Yo.
I'm sorry, my
Oh,
number
yeah.
one sitcom of all time. Must see TV on Thursdays. It was Martin, Living Single, and then New York Undercover.
New York Undercover, yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
For sure.
Mark, cheers, Prez, edibles, Reg,
Nah, I'm good. I'm laying up for a couple days.
whatever it is that
Don't
you
go
do,
around.
Reg,
Don't go
enjoy.
around. Don't go around doing troglodyte things now, guys.
Be good, y'all, and I will be tweeting during the Sixers game, y'all. I'm pumped. It's
So
in
what
my
time that game
veins,
start
yo.
tomorrow, yo?
They're gonna lose by 30.
8:30.
What time?
Hey,
8:30 at night.
we
Well,
was
I'll be at
doing well.
about
Why you got to do that?
8-0. Sixers going 8-0.
No, they're
Hey,
not. They're going
Oh
one.
hell
They're
no,
going,
they ain't not.
they're going 3
No,
and
the
5.
fuck they're not, yo.
They're going 3 and 5.
They're gonna at least go 4-4 at
No, they're
best.
not. They're
Yo.
going 3 and 5.
I can see
Good
3
night,
and 5.
y'all. Good night.
All right,
Later.
guys.
2 and 6.
Cheers,
One
gentlemen.
and 7.
Good night, Dragon Knight.